Welcome back to Simple Abound. Let's start on another project that is completely unnecessary. I just can't seem to find a tongue box that's light and that'll fit in the Scamp here. Right now, I just have some solo wires I don't use. So we're going to change that. I have some leftover plywood here. I've got some 3/8 and 1/2 inch. This 1/2 inch right here is ACX, I believe, or BCX, the outdoor rated stuff. This isn't. I mean, this stuff is pretty flimsy, but that's fine. I used 1/4 inch on the sides of the other one, and that seemed to work. It's going to be pretty small. There isn't a lot of room here, but I think I can make it bigger. All I'd like to put in there is the wheel chocks would be nice because they don't fit in there. I have the battery box removed, and right now I just have this sitting up here so I can see how wide and tall I can make the new box before it hits on the back. Here's the sheet of plywood I'm using to cut the bottom and the two sides out. So I've already cut the bottom out. I don't know. I don't remember what it is, like 13 by 8. I cut it out of here. So I'm going to continue to cut this 8-inch wide piece. And then I'm going to cut it in half so I can try to get the tallest I can and still fit in here. And then I'm going to use the 1/4 inch wide piece for the front and the back. I'm going to finish cutting those two pieces out and give you a look. I've got all the wood cut and kind of just temporary in here. So on the bottom I kind of put the thickness of the lid I'm going to use. That way I kind of know the height. So when I put this on there, I know that this isn't too tall and going to hit over here. That's why this piece is laying down here right now. And then, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. I got a couple of the wheel chocks in there, so I know I got the right width, so I can put all 4 of them. Next up, I'm just going to glue it and nail them, and then clamp it while that's going on, and then we got to wait for that to dry. And then I'll kind of show you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to use poor man's fiberglass. This is the one I made on my homemade camper here. This one's got a wider lid on. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to make it flush with the top just so it fits flush. I don't really care if water gets in that one. So I have all the pieces cut. Got my glue. Got an 18 gauge brad nailer and some clamps. Just going to pretty much put the glue on and brad nail them. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. If you'd like, hit the like and subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. If there's anything else you want to see me miserably fail on, put that down in the comments too. Thank you. So I have it all nailed and glued together. No, just box. It's really light. I think it'll work. I haven't decided yet. I might just sand it and paint it. I'm not quite sure yet. But when I put the glue on, I like to use just a milk jug cap. Just drill a hole in it. That way I don't have to buy another thing to put glue in. Yeah, just another way you can save a little money. Just keep the lids off your milk jugs. Yeah, so I think I'm going to wait for this to dry. Not sure how long. 30 minutes should be fine. No, it'll probably take longer than that. And then I'm going to sand it, get the corners all smooth, and then I think I'll decide on what I should use. So I got the box all glued up and sanded. Right now I just have my wheel chocks in there, and it will still fit one of these, little propane tanks in there if I want to put that in there, because I got a ton of these that are like half empty that I'm trying to use up. And so then the dimensions on it are 15.5 by 8.5 and about 10 inches tall total. So here's the lid. I just have a piece of 1/4 inch and then another piece. I'm gonna glue this on there and put some weight on it while it's gluing, and it's kind of just gonna fit on there with a lid. So I have glue on the first 2 pieces, and then I'm going to put them together and then frantically search around the room for heavy stuff to put on there. So this will be a good thing right here. It's an old, I think it's an old Craftsman toolbox here. It's a nice little thing here. I'm going to kind of stick this on top. Hopefully it stayed in. Nope. Gotta kind of look at it again. Man, that's going to take a lot of weight. Throw some more heavy stuff on there. Got a big hammer. Some wrenches. This is heavy. This will all look good. So I'm ready to glue the drop cloth onto the bottom here. I got a piece cut. I kind of just got some dots on the end, so I know where to line it up, because I'm going to overlap about 3/4 inch, and then I'm going to flush this is the top here. I'm going to flush it so there's about 3/4 inch when it goes over the bottom, and then when I put the sides on, I'm going to flush it towards the bottom so it'll help hide that seal. But first I'm going to get started with the bottom. Usually just, put plenty of glue on there. Some people dilute this and do all kinds of, I just use it straight. 100% type on 2. I just use the cheapest brush I can find. Pretty liberal on the glue here. Kind of get this covered and kind of show you what it usually looks like when I'm done here. I don't know if you can see how much glue, but it's even and it's coated pretty good. Then I'll just take this. Got those marks there, so I kind of know where to put this. I usually use my hands at first to kind of spread this down. So I've cut the sides here, and I'm getting it shaped around the edges here, so it's nice and smooth here. I kind of usually just use my hands most of the time, and then once I kind of get this smoothed out and put where I want it, I just take a regular old paint roller that's worn out, and I just make sure everything's all smooth. I don't press real hard. I just like to make sure everything's all even. I've got the top all done. It's dried. I'm gonna start working on the sides now. So I'm gonna get some glue on this first. Way too much. I'm gonna make the seam in the back here. Kind of show you once I get this started. So I've got the canvas all glued and laid down on the top or on the bottom. This is going to be the bottom of the tongue box, and then I've got it all laid out on the sides. So here's the back where the seam is. You'll never see that on the back. That's why I kind of put it on the back, the seam. I kind of, just wrapped it all the way around, and then that's where the seam is. So I'm going to let this get dried up, and then I got to finish laying it on the top. So I've got the lid here. I've got the piece that's going to go on the underside. I'm going to get that put on, let that set up, and then I'm going to try to flip it over somehow, and then put the piece, or glue the piece on the top side. The glue is dried, and I kind of just have it test fitted in here to see what kind of hinge I can get in here. So it's all painted. I think I came up with the solution for how I'm going to get this tied down. I got a handle here that I found in the garage. And then I've got some iron here. I'm going to have it so I'm going to fold this down here and over here, so it's just going to slide over like this, so it'll be bent down and then come over and then come back down. It'll be tight on there, and I think that'll work. I have some leftover, I don't know, some type of gasket or foam or whatever material I have left over. I'm just gonna take that, I'm gonna put it, around the edge here to kind of form a seal, but this actually fits in there pretty tight. I have the piece of metal I'm gonna bend in the vise here, and the key is, if you're gonna do something wrong, is to make sure you do it wrong evenly. So you can see I have the whole width is like 15.5, so I have two 8-inch measurements, and here's the other one. So there'll be a little bit extra on the sides, so it's not hitting anything, because there'll be a little extra bend here. That way I can put some spacers in on the side. So I'm going to get these bent up, and I've got a square here, so I can make sure they're actually square, when they're on the bench. That's why I got a little lip here, so I can put that on there to make sure it's square. So I'm going to get this bent up, and then we'll get a closer look at it. So I have everything kind of mocked up pretty good here. I've got it on the tongue, obviously. Lid comes off, goes back on. So here's what the final product of the side is going to look like. So I got a bolt sticking through here. Stick the bolt through there. I've got a washer here. And then I take a piece of copper and cut it down. Stick that on there. Put that over there, and you can see there's still a little bit of gap before the thread is. And you just thread this on there. The metal still moves on the shaft, on this part of the shaft, before the threads lock it in. Then I usually put another one on here so it's double nutted, and then I'll probably end up cutting this off. I'll probably end up putting some Loctite on this. So I got the box back on the tongue here. Got the arm on there. Lid comes off. Got some wheel chocks in there. There's kind of a little bit of room to put whatever else you want in there. Not too much. The goal is just to make this small, light, and on a budget. I think you can do it too. Thanks for watching.